Thank you. Welcome everyone to this year's awards dinner of Students for Liberty. How are you guys doing? Have you been invigorated? Have you talked to students? Do you feel the energy in this room? And it's palpable. You excited? Very good. 10 years ago was the last time we were here at this conference. And 10 years ago, I came here and I was a PhD student. I served many years as a volunteer for Students for Liberty. I didn't know what the future will hold. I definitely didn't think I would become CEO at some point. But thanks to Students for Liberty, I knew that I had the skills and the ambition that I can do things in this world. And I not always believed that about myself. And now I have the privilege to do this with thousands of different volunteers around the world so that they can learn new things, challenge themselves and others, and spread the ideas of liberty. And within these 10 years, we truly have become a machinery of empowerment of students. 10 years ago, we were in a few dozen countries. Now, we have volunteers, active volunteers, that do things for liberty every single day in 108 countries. 10 years ago, we had 10,000 people at our events in a single year. This school year, and we're not done yet, it will last until April, we have over 160,000 people at our events. And these results are, of course, thanks to the work of many, many people. I want to thank again the sponsors, but also, and nothing would be happening without any of them, and I'm so grateful to them that they stand with me in order to change the lives of thousands of people, of students. So please give a huge round of applause for the staff of Students for Liberty, and please stand up if you work for Students for Liberty. Thank you. And now I've seen some of our volunteers already stood up because they're really working for us. We don't pay them, but they do put the hours in, and I will tell you a little bit about that later. But also, I hope that you had the chance to talk to a student here. If you haven't had that, make sure that that's the goal of the night, that you talk to one of the international students, some of the American students here, and learn more about their stories. But now I would like to ask all of the volunteers of Students for Liberty also to please rise up. And of course, I want to thank all of the great supporters that make this possible. Our board is here. I want to also thank the board of directors without whom we could not do any of this either, and all of the alumni as well. Many people are to be thanked for, but I'll leave it at that. But so let me tell you a little bit more how we have become a machine of freedom, and so that you can believe me more. Because I think after tonight, you will really see what kind of impact we have in this country and around the world. Because our students, and nobody's telling them to do this, creating magazines like this, Locksmith. It is a publication they have done here in the United States. Until like a month ago, I had no idea they were doing that. And apparently they have even fundraised for it from a bunch of different organizations. And nobody told them that to do. We connected them with other folks. We helped them a little bit, but they did it all by themselves. And that's just remarkable. And our students have organized this year events for over 2,000 people. And we know what the students are doing. They're not only organizing events, they're speaking, they're organizing, they're fundraising, they're writing blog posts, and so many other beautiful things. And I can tell you, because we're collecting all of that beautiful data, that last year our volunteers have put in the equivalent of time, just in 1 year, of 260 full-time positions in a single year. And that's just remarkable. And all of these numbers are great. I'm a numbers guy, I'm German, I can't help it. I like system and processes, and my staff will tell you the same thing. However, the most important thing is the stories behind these numbers. What are the lives changed, and how are they changed, and how they're changing other people's lives? I just talked randomly to a former student of ours, and I did not know about this story. Somebody from Honduras, And she told me that a few years ago, there was like this draconian law that the Honduran government wanted to implement. It would have taken a lot of freedoms away, specifically during the pandemic. And the Congress people, and it's like a few hundred of them, they don't have their emails online, so they don't want to hear from their people. However, those 6 students, only 6, were able to find all of these email addresses of all these Congress people and coordinated that 8,000 people bombarded them during the session to say and shut down that law. That's just amazing. And they needed to go into hiding afterwards because they were being looked for. But that's just random things I'm learning here at this conference. So get to know their stories and learn more. And these people, of course, becoming at some point alumni, because we want to change campuses now, and that's what the students are doing. But in the future, they will become alumni who are changing not only campuses, but the world. And we're seeing this all the time. Just in the last few days, we had our alumni speaking in front of the people in the Senate, in the Congress, as well as the Helsinki Commission. Some of our folks, alumni in Portugal, are currently privatizing their shitty government airline. And yeah, that's amazing. And in some areas, there is an existence of a liberty movement, and it's really thriving just because of us. Because I can tell you right now, if you look to the continent of Africa, 2/3 of all free market organizations, which is over 20 so-ish, in Africa are either founded by Students for Liberty alumni or are run by Students for Liberty alumni. And you will hear more stories also about the United States, but it's really remarkable. We have 3 vice ministers and ministers. We have dozens of elected officials, and our alumni running 285 organizations around the world. And we have students who are also helping sue the government here in the United States for all of the infringements they have on free speech against students and their right to associate with whatever and whomever they chose, and many other beautiful things. And so the students and alumni are so impressive. So I encourage you once again, talk to some here, have a great time tonight. And you don't have to believe all of this from me. So just talk to them. And I think you will hear some more stories here and you will get a good sense that we are truly changing the world. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your support and have a wonderful night. And now the awards dinner is gonna start, but I'm not giving out the awards. We have much more exciting people coming here, and my whole board, or parts of the board, is helping with that. And so I have the honor to present to you Alec Green, who is the first presenter, and he is the investment strategist of the Oxford Club, the world's largest financial fellowship with more than 160,000 people subscribing to it. And he told me at some point, I'm living a life pretty well because of my focus on financial freedom. I can do whatever I want, with whomever I want, wherever I want. And that's pretty nice. I really like that. And he's our newest board member. So please welcome Alec Green.
Hi. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be the newest member of the board of Students for Liberty. Wolf asked if I might say a couple of words about why I wanted to be on the board. Like many longtime libertarians, I feel like society flourishes most when people are left alone and free from government intervention. And so I wanted to promote the ideas of political and economic and personal freedom. And what better way to do that than with a bunch of smart, energetic, creative young people like we have here tonight. So, but I have to confess, I had a secondary motive for wanting to be on the board, and that is, I think that to a certain extent, the freedom movement has a branding problem. Because I've been to a lot of libertarian conferences where the speakers get up and they say, the government, they're coming for your guns, they're coming for your money. They're coming for your bong. they're coming for your Bitcoin. And you know, I think to a lot of Americans who live lives of relative peace and prosperity, it seems not just negative, but a little bit unhinged. And I think that a better way to promote the freedom movement is to talk about the incredible successes that John Stossel just touched on, but that we tend to take for granted in so many ways, and that are the result of classical liberal values that we're here to represent. So let me just mention a few of the things that, despite all the many very real problems that we have that we often don't think about. First of all, human lifespans have never been longer. They dropped briefly during the pandemic, but now they're rising again. And if life is good, like the t-shirts tell us, what could be better than having more of it? Infant mortality is at an all-time low. So what could be sadder than to lose a child? I mean, it used to be routine that children 5 and under would die. Now it's a relative rarity. Standards of living have never been higher. American incomes and household net worth just hit an all-time record. Educational attainment's never been greater. There are more people with high school diplomas and college degrees and postgraduate degrees. IQs, the Flynn effect, have never been higher as well. Despite what you see in the media, violence is in a long-term cycle of decline. It too spiked during the pandemic, but is now declining again. People don't realize that. Your computer, your laptop, your tablet, your smartphone, it's never been more powerful or cheaper. Those of us of a certain generation used to use rotary phones that, believe it or not, couldn't even shoot video. So it's pretty sad. But transportation's never been safer. Communications have never been faster. Poverty is also in a long-term cycle of decline. In the year 2000, 23% of the world lived in abject poverty, extreme poverty. Now it's only 8.5%. That's a huge, huge triumph. And poverty in the West is not what it used to be. The average American who lives under the poverty line lives in larger accommodations than the average European. Not the average poor European, just the average European. And they have color TV and a high-speed internet and dishwasher, microwave, all the things. And it used to be, of course, that if you were poor, it was a struggle to get enough calories to survive. Now we have the opposite problem, where obesity, and even morbid obesity, is a problem with people who are especially poor. There has never been a time in American history when we were less sexist, less racist, less homophobic, so people are more tolerant than ever before. And since my daytime job is helping people achieve financial independence, we're living in a golden age for investors. There's never been more stocks and bonds and mutual funds and ETFs to choose from. Most brokerage houses have no minimum investment. You can start with $1. Commissions, which used to eat up your returns, are now zero at discount brokerage houses. Spreads, which used to be a quarter of a point or an eighth of a point, are now a penny or less. Transactions have never been faster. A click of a mouse and you own a stock, another click of the mouse and you're out of the stock. Compare that to your usual real estate closing. Not much of a comparison. And it's never been easier to monitor your portfolio, and yet I hear people complain, oh, the little guy doesn't stand a chance these days. The little guy has never had a better chance than he does today. And so despite the many challenges that we face, I think it's important for the freedom movement to recognize that we are living longer, healthier, safer, richer, freer lives than ever before, and that's something to celebrate. And so I'm excited that you students, you happy warriors, are going to go out and spread the word and change the world and show people how democracy and property rights and the rule of law and economic freedom can change the world. So anyway, back to the awards. I'll tell the video team here. There is nominees that we need to look at here. Is the video screen ready? Nominees are?
The Bangladesh Classical Liberal Conference, Region, South Asia. March 14, 2023 at the University of Chittagong marked a historic milestone, Bangladesh's first SFL conference. The Bangladesh Classical Liberal Conference, which welcomed more than 600 students, took place at a crucial time in the country's history, National Parliament election season. The nonpartisan SFL Bangladesh team sought to expose students, mostly first-time voters, to market-based ideas and help them analyze candidates based on the soundness of their economic policies. By emphasizing the connection between free markets and environmental sustainability, the Bangladesh Classical Liberal Conference challenged conventional perspectives and sparked innovative thinking. Thanks to meticulous planning and comprehensive organization, the event attracted a diverse audience, including renowned professors who participated as speakers, panelists, and attendees. One highlight was the presentation of a Bangladeshi entrepreneur whose rags to riches story evoked reflection on the country's regulatory obstacles. The conference also featured a video creation competition with 44 participants showcasing their work on objectivism, classical liberal thought, and free market capitalism. Technology, State, and Individual Conference, Region, Europe. The Technology, State, and Individual Conference focused on innovation and emerging technologies and their role in advancing liberty in the Caucasus region. Organized by Georgian Students for Liberty, Technology, State, and Individuals covered topics such as technology in the context of the Russo-Ukrainian War, modern technologies in autocratic nations, decentralized society, and blockchain's transformative potential. Before the conference, a 3-week training program, the Bitcoin Academy, attracted students from Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan with local and international speakers. 86 graduates of the Academy earned the opportunity to attend the conference, and this approach led to a surge in recruitment, as 80% of ESFL local coordinator applications came from the Caucasus region in the following month. The conference also played a crucial role in bringing together students from Armenia and Azerbaijan, promoting unity in a region marked by discord. The venue, an audiovisual museum with a cutting-edge NFT exhibition, marked a pioneering moment for SFL and Georgia as a whole. SFL Morocco Local Conference, Region, MENA. Morocco was the site of the inaugural Middle East and North Africa Conference. The event exceeded all expectations, welcoming more than 130 enthusiastic student attendees. The second day of the conference saw the pivotal launch of the MENA Free Speech Project, a dynamic initiative comprising 5 distinct events, beginning with a spirited debate on the topic of free speech. The debate was Oxford-style. Students voted on the proposition both before and after the debate, with the side that changed more minds declared the winner. The goals were to raise awareness of free expression and to model respectful disagreement and debate in a region that too often sees a conflict between cultural sensitivities and free speech. The online content created from the debate generated more than 600,000 views in the first 2 months. This lively debate also set the stage for a series of engaging discussions in the MENA region, promising a wealth of enlightening conversations in the future. The resounding success of the conference underscored the potential for promoting liberty and free speech across the MENA region.
And the winner is Bangladesh Classical Liberal Conference.
Thank you so much, everyone. Actually, 5 years ago, I got to know about Students for Liberty. And at that time, I got to know about LibertyCon and the Student Award. So at that moment, I had a dream in my mind that one day I will come to this stage and win this award. And now, here I am, and this is very well. I would like to thank Students for Liberty for giving us opportunity to spread classical liberal ideas every single corner of the world. And also, I want to thank my local coordinator in Bangladesh who worked hard a lot to make our conference a success. And I want to thank my mentor, Joe Dennis. Without his guidance, it wouldn't be possible. Thank you so much, Dennis, for everything. Keep supporting us. Peace. Thank you.
So this was the event of the year, but we have more awards. We have now the group of the year, which is introduced by a good friend of mine and now a board member as well. His name is Dr. Gabriel Calzada, and he holds a doctorate from the Universidad Rey Juan Carlos in Spain. And he was actually my professor at some point in my master's in Austrian economics. And I have to tell you, I haven't thought this through when I tried to get him on the board, because he actually gave me one of the worst grades I got in the whole master's degree. And now he's grading me as the CEO of Students for Liberty. So I clearly didn't think this through. But he is an inspiring social entrepreneur. He is now running a free market university in Spain. It's relatively new. You should check it out. They have free market economics, all kinds of different courses. It's called the Universidad de las Illes Verdes. And he is also not only a board member of Students for Liberty, but also president of the Mont Pelerin Society. So welcome, Gabriel Calzada.
Wolf, you perfectly know that the only reason why I am here is because I blackmail you with showing your report card and your disciplinary card. The Group of the Year award. In fact, Wolf, I always thought about that year that you had an incredible group. And I remember I was always a little bit jealous because looking to a group of 20-something students, very passionate about knowing more about the history of our, the pillars of our civilization, different ways to defend liberty, what to do, and share ideas, experiences. This is something that I didn't have at all. I was at a university where there were over 100,000 students, and I found the ideas of liberty in my first semester. I discovered them. I was really enthusiastic. I discovered a whole new world. It was like, I have new glasses. I can see the world in a complete different way. Now I really see what happens. And it was only in the last semester, the last few months, when I finally found another person between these 100,000 students that share my values. And looking at your group, I was also like, wow, I was mesmerized. I was like, this is so fantastic. So to find your pulse, to find the people you can work with, to share ideas, discuss, is really something really important, especially if you want to defend something as important as freedom. I always also looked at the history of the Circle Bastiat, this group in New York of students, Ralph Raico, Murray Rothbard, George Reisman, Robert Hessen, and Leonard Liggio, that found each other while they were students and collaborated and did a lot of things together. They read together, they discussed together. And of course, they needed huge magnets like Mises and Ayn Rand, and this is why they they found, and Foundation for Economic Education, this is how they found each other. But I always thought how difficult it has been for ages to find the other students that have your own value, especially when you're defending or you want to defend or know more about liberty. This has changed a lot thanks to technology, of course, thanks to the internet, but also thanks to Students for Liberty. And if not for Students for Liberty, it will be so difficult. We will continue in that world where it was so incredibly difficult to find the other students, and you would spend 5 years in the campus and you wouldn't know who else wanted to defend liberty like you. So thank you, Students for Liberty. Thank you to all these groups defending freedom in the campuses all around the world. And the Group of the Year Award nominees are
Georgian Students for Liberty, Region, Europe. Georgian Students for Liberty built on their impressive reputation, organizing 3 regional conferences, 8 in-depth schools, and 41 local events. One notable event, Technology, State, and Individual, nominated for Event of the Year, brought together 86 attendees from Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. The Tbilisi Regional Conference later in the year received 406 applications, with 130 students selected to attend. Georgian SFL also hosted the Ayn Rand Conference, bringing together 110 attendees at a cost of only $250. And the team's dedication to recording Learn Liberty videos at the Russian border garnered significant attention. But perhaps their most impactful contribution came in early March 2023 when Georgian Students for Liberty took to the streets to oppose a Russia-inspired proposed law. This controversial bill threatened the nation's aspirations for stronger European bonds. Undeterred, the students faced off against a brutal police force, enduring tear gas, water cannons, and excessive pepper spray. They not only protested, but also provided support to fellow demonstrators and distributed SFL-branded protest materials, resulting in the withdrawal of the proposed law. Es Libertad, Argentina. Region, Es Libertad. In recent years, Es Libertad Argentina has faced a series of pre-existing challenges, including some of the world's lengthiest and most stringent COVID-19 restrictions, political upheaval that divided the youth along partisan lines, and a deteriorating economic crisis that discouraged young people from participating in volunteer programs. Into that void stepped Es Libertad Argentina with strong and determined leadership. Its resolute leaders took deliberate steps to rejuvenate Argentina's pro-liberty network, transforming it into a consistently high-performing entity marked by steady improvement and progress. They hosted multiple LibertyCon events and initiated a long-anticipated expansion into provinces beyond the capital, nurturing the growth of top leaders throughout the region. Perhaps most notably, SFL Argentina can count Javier Milei, the newly elected president of Argentina, as an ally. He has regularly been spotted wearing a Students for Liberty pin. The accomplishments of the Argentine group are not only promising, but also serve as a testament to the resilience and determination of Es Libertad groups in the face of challenging times. They have exemplified effective leadership and unwavering commitment as the Argentina group turned adversity into opportunities for growth and success. SFL Peshawar, Pakistan. Region, South Asia. A small but determined group, SFL Peshawar has emerged as a shining example of grassroots activism and fundraising for liberty. SFL Peshawar, with its commitment to fostering freedom in a region near Taliban-ruled Afghanistan, has organized more than 30 events with more than 650 participants. SFL Peshawar has also produced 3 Prometheus Fellows. The group's successful organization of the KP Business Plan competition was a major highlight. This Shark Tank-like competition, hosted by the national influencers in partnership with SFL Pakistan, provided a unique opportunity for aspiring student entrepreneurs to showcase their innovative ideas and receive valuable feedback from industry experts. All 3 winning teams from its first leg have already established sustainable business entities in Peshawar. The group's efforts have played a pivotal role in spreading awareness and empowering individuals to embrace personal freedom, free markets, and limited government. As a direct result of their successful media outreach, South Asia SFL received more than 330 applications to the Local Coordinator Program 2023.
And the winner of the Group of the Year award es Libertad Argentina. ¡Viva la libertad, carajo!
Well, well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. In 2022, Lionel Messi became the world champion, winning the World Cup. Last year, in 2023, Javier Milei secured the presidency, becoming the world's first libertarian president in the world. And lastly, but not least, in 2024, SFL Argentina won the Team of the Year award. And this is significant as we began the previous year with the goal in our minds to be the best team in the world and drive the change our country urgently needs. It's a result of the work and passion of our 28 local coordinators, students who face a hostile system towards our ideas, attempting to isolate us and force us to resign to a less free future. Argentinians are passionate people. We love football, mate, and our delicious asado. We put our hearts into every action and convincing, giving everything for what we believe is right. However, that passion can turn into love for state and hate for freedom. Fortunately, in Argentina, we have a team that not only believes in liberty, but is passionate about it, ready to fight to preserve it in our country and in the world. With the victory of Javier Milei, the first libertarian president in history, we have a unique opportunity ahead. Liberalism will be here in politics and have the chance to lead us toward a free, fair future. But we must not forget our role as liberty activists, supporting reforms in defense of life, liberty, and property that the government should promote, communicating to citizens how these ideas work to gain their support and trust, but also begin the guardians of these ideas. Thomas Jefferson said, "The cost of liberty is eternal vigilance." Let's watch over that freedom from the collectivists who want to take it away, but also from its defenders in case they lost their way. Thanks, Students for Liberty, for this recognition, and to our donors for supporting us to make this possible. Let's keep working for this dream, and why not? ¡Viva la libertad, carajo! Muchas gracias.
All right, now we're switching it up. I told you a little bit about the students, and you will be hearing a little bit more about that, but we also need to honor some of our alumni. And so our next presenter has been a writer for Reason magazine since she was an intern. So many of you might already know who I'm talking about. And now she has risen to be the editor-in-chief at Reason. And you can hear her opinions and hot takes every Monday on the Reason Roundtable podcast. Please welcome none other than Catherine Mangu-Ward.
Actually incredibly cruel of Wolf to ask me to present this award because I was born just a little too soon to ever have the opportunity to actually be an alum of SFL. I missed my chance, but it's nonetheless a tremendous honor to be here to present this award. Selfishly, I have benefited hugely from the network of alumni that SFL has produced. Many of them work at Reason magazine, some of them are here tonight. And I am now incredibly honored to serve on the board of SFL as well. I think that, SFL has been a dynamic and robust organization for many, many years, but it's really coming into its own, and the alums are a huge part of that. It's, sometimes easy to get an infatuation or an enthusiasm in college or when you're a student and then leave it behind. The real commitment to liberty, to continue to work even after college, in the movement, or just in your private life to promote liberty around the world is so important. And so I think it's very appropriate that we are honoring alumni here tonight. Without further ado, let's meet the Alumna of the Year.
Having grown up in Honduras, Yvette Cano has seen firsthand the challenges that a lack of economic freedom can pose to entrepreneurs. And so, as the visionary CEO of Adrianople Group, Yvette has not only been a pioneer for business intelligence, but has also carried the torch for economic empowerment. Her groundbreaking work to compile the largest ever data set on special economic zones has been pivotal in creating economic growth and unlocking opportunities where they are most desperately needed. But Yvette's impact transcends data. Private special economic zones are helping liberalize economies across the globe, creating employment in highly skilled sectors of developing nations and helping to tackle corruption and inefficiency. In her home country of Honduras alone, 160,000 people are employed within these economic zones. Further, her Startup Cities map provides a guide for cities that would like to become more startup friendly. With her leadership on this project, Adrianople Group has become a beacon for entrepreneurs and cities navigating the complexities of economic development. Yvette's journey is interwoven with the values of Students for Liberty. From her early days promoting liberty as a local coordinator in Honduras to her current endeavors in Madrid, Yvette has embodied the principles and values that SFL cherishes. And her dedication to mentorship, commitment to hiring and nurturing talent, and active participation in Alumni for Liberty and the Prometheus Fellowship Program reflect her deep-seated dedication to a freer future.
Well, hi, everybody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, fellow advocates of liberty, friends, my mentees, thank you so much for such a kind introduction, really. It is with immense gratitude and pride that I stand before you today as a recipient of the Alumni of the Year Award. I want to thank Dr. Wolf von Lauer, and especially Jorge Girasati and the alumni team, for your unbreakable commitment to liberty. My journey with Alumni for Liberty has been a testament to the unwavering spirit that coursers through each one of our veins. For years, I've dedicated my efforts to leading student groups in Honduras, facing the challenges of political turmoils and authoritarian policies firsthand. We're fighting for more economic freedom, ease of doing business, investment, development, job creations, and to be able to live a thriving life at home. Not being forced to put our lives in a suitcase and leave. Thousands of unaccompanied children, mothers, families, friends, neighbors are having to leave Honduras as a desperate consequence for the lack of opportunities caused by socialist, populist, and oppressive governments. But this is not just Honduras. Many of our students worldwide, whether they're from Honduras, Venezuela, Afghanistan, India, Nigeria, or Poland, they have been forced to leave their homelands due to years of dictatorships and oppressive governments. Our activists have been targeted, repressed, harassed, and in an effort to asphyxiate their fights and spirits, they have been excluded from financial services. For these reasons, many of us alumni here today, who are talented professionals, politicians, academics, and leaders, we're fighting together to increase financial freedom for our activists and immigrants alike. We're specifically pushing for financial reform to support, protect, and advocate for students to ensure their rights to financial services. We have met with the European and American institutions to raise awareness and help safeguard the financial freedoms of these activists. This week alone, we met with policymakers at the Senate, State Department, and Congress here in Washington, D.C. I am also honored to have conversed, mentored, and to be inspired by the incredible work that each one of you does worldwide. Tomorrow, when we return to our home countries, I hope the stories we heard today continue to inspire us. They've definitely inspired me. And remind us that even when it feels lonely and like nobody's listening, there are thousands of activists, students motivated around the world who believe a freer future is possible, who believe we can have a country we do not have to escape from. It's in this collective effort that fuels the fire within us, reminding us that the fight for liberty is the one fight worth fighting for. Every day, we're changing millions of lives, and it's organizations like Students for Liberty that have undoubtedly changed mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Now, we are here at one of the highlights of the evening. I'm pretty sure every single award was really exciting to you. I'm so proud of the students. And now the Student of the Year award will be given out by none other than John Mackey, also a board member of Students for Liberty. And he is the founder of Whole Foods. He was a CEO for the longest time until recently. Now he started another company called Love Life. And so with no further ado, John Mackey.
You know, I've been on the SFL board now for like 7 years, and I'm actually up for renewal. So I was meeting with the governance committee to talk about that today, and they asked me, so do you want to stay on the board, and what is it that you like about the board? And started to list the reasons, and one reason was that I love my fellow directors. I love our CEO, Wolf, but the number one thing is I'm so inspired by Students for Liberty. I'm so inspired by the students. I love LibertyCon. I love connecting with so many idealistic young people who are going to change the world. And it lifts my spirits up. And I love John Stossel's talk tonight because I love John. I've known him a long time as well. And he kept saying, I've been doing this a long time. I need one of you students to apply so you can take my place. And it reminded me of the comedian Jerry Seinfeld. When he became a father late. And they asked him, it's like, so Jerry, do you like being a father? He said, yeah, I love being a father. I really do love it. He said, there's just one problem. They're here to replace me. John Stossel, yes, they're here to replace you, and you want them to. So the future is in the hands of you. Your time will come, and you can create the world that you want to create. You can create a world of more freedom. And as Alec Green and others have said, humanity has made massive progress. We are improving. It's not a straight linear line. It moves more like a spiral with 5 steps forward and a step backwards. But now, freedom is breaking out across this planet like it never has before. And have no doubt that Students for Liberty is a major contributor to that. I personally give a lot of money to SFL, and I'm not, if I say this, Wolf's going to be hitting me up for it, so I'm not going to make any more promises because he'll be tough on me anyway. But every time I come to LibertyCon, it reinforces to me that all the money I've donated to SFL has been so well spent. You guys are amazing. You guys are just simply amazing. And I thank you for all that you're doing. Anyway, I get to do this. I get to do the Student of the Year award. So let's roll it.
Ethan Yang, North America. Ethan Yang's work led directly to a preliminary injunction on Independence Day 2023 to halt efforts by the Biden administration to stifle criticism of COVID-19 lockdowns. His Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, request exposed the administration's attempt to silence critics. This wasn't the first time Ethan Yang made headlines. Since 2020, he's published more than 100 op-eds in various outlets and hosted 19 podcasts for the American Institute for Economic Research, plus 2 episodes of the new SFL Banter podcast. This past October, he co-authored a book, The China Dilemma: Rethinking U.S.-China Relations Through Public Choice. Also, he became a Google Public Policy Fellow and law clerk, a full member of the Journal of Law, Economics, and Policy, and interned for a DC consultancy focused on Indo-Pacific trends. In his role as House Coordinator, he organized a gathering of over 40 interns and employees from various pro-liberty organizations in DC. He also facilitated internships for 4 fellow SFL members at AIER. And he organized 3 regional conferences in the Northeast despite the COVID lockdowns. During that time, Ethan also clerked for the Pacific Legal Foundation and interned at Cato. Nicola Aguila, Brazil. Nicola Aguila has excelled as an event organizer, efficiently handling logistics and transportation during Brazil's North Regional Training in 2022. But Nicola's contributions extend beyond event coordination. He actively promotes community projects and introduced the Cabano of the Year award to recognize outstanding volunteers in his region. Operating in Belém, where pro-freedom activists and organizations are scarce, presents unique challenges. But Nicola's remarkable efforts have a profound impact on the lives of many in northern Brazil. He has dedicated himself to educating youth on the principles of citizenship, environmental issues, basic sanitation, and entrepreneurship. He organizes lectures and documentary screenings and supports the extractivist and fishing community of Marajo Island by sharing knowledge about product cultivation and processing. Nicola's Future Gardens project transformed the lives of 20 individuals through technical assistance, lectures, and the establishment of community gardens. His Rugby in the Community taught rugby and the values of liberty to more than 20 young people, and his ABC of Freedom taught monthly courses on classical liberal ideas for 13 children from the Una community. Stepan Kovac, Europe. At just 21 years old, Stepan Kovac, a math and IT major from Prague, Czechia, is the youngest regional coordinator in Europe. Under Stepan's leadership as both a national coordinator and regional coordinator, the Czech team grew from 6 active volunteers to 21 by the end of fiscal year 2023. He orchestrated 13 local events in Prague in addition to a regional conference, and he didn't forget to spread the word. Videos on the Czech SFL YouTube channel recorded by Stepan amassed over 6,000 views this fiscal year. His team's Legalize It event held in Prague drew more than 160 attendees, and Stepan's End the Drug War booklet, designed for the conference, has garnered a second edition sponsorship. Stepan initiated the Bitcoin Activism Project, dedicated to raising awareness about the current monetary system. He also partnered with Czech organizations to aid Ukraine, delivering over $800,000 worth of assistance. He established a partnership with the director of Ukrainian Students for Freedom, paving the way for an SFL-USF joint conference in Ukraine in July 2023.
Three great finalists. I'm glad I didn't have to be the one to choose. But this year's Student of the Year is Ethan Yang.
All right, so before I begin, shameless plug for a recently released book by me and Dr. Ryan Yonk, who's also here in the audience, co-published by the American Institute for Economic Research, a gracious sponsor of this event, thank you very much. But they are clearly here in this audience, so give them a thanks when you can. I am so glad to be here. This is probably my last LibertyCon as a student, about to graduate this year. But of course, Florian probably has plenty of work after this conference is done for me. So of course, the work continues. But please forgive me, but this is a lot for me to take in, because 5 years ago, my first LibertyCon, I was sitting right there in the audience with you guys. And this is one of those moments where I actually did not see myself being here, mostly because as an American, I look at the challenges that SFLers from all across the world face, and they make our problems pale in comparison. We truly have first world problems compared to the things that you put up with. But I guess the reason why I was able to fight for academic freedom and economic liberties and academic freedom in the way that I have this year is because I believe that our government, the American government, has fundamentally attacked these values in a way that it hasn't had in recent history. But the people in this room give me hope that in the end, liberty will prevail. Because the people in this room, freedom fighters from across the globe, some of the most inspiring activists that I've ever met and continue to meet. And every day when I feel complacent or lazy or like there's nothing left to do, hearing your stories remind me that there's always more that can be done. And that's why the most powerful asset SFL provides is not the free flights or the food or the fancy conferences. It's people that inspire you beyond measure. And indeed, it was right here at LibertyCon in Washington, D.C. roughly 5 years ago where I found my inspiration. And she's sitting right there. Her name is Ayman Fatima, and she was the Student of the Year for 2019. So and she inspired me beyond measure and inspired me to try much harder than I ever thought I could. But I'd like to end by giving an open invitation to the students in this crowd, many of which are new to SFL, to not be afraid of expanding your potential and to give it everything you have. Because you're part of a world-changing student organization. And when the heroes that we look up today retire, it is the people in this room that will have to step up and take their place. And maybe, just maybe, we may secure liberty in our lifetime and for our posterity. All glory to SFL. Thank you so much.
This night must have been the first night that the Americans were louder than the Latin Americans. So that's a noteworthy night. Congratulations. And that's conclude our program. That's it. So just hang out, have fun, and thank you for being here. Have a good night. Bye-bye.